After 19 years away, Star Trek Enterprise's Topple is back and it's perfect. For years, Star Trek fans have wondered what became of Topple, the emotionally repressed Vulcan science officer from Star Trek Enterprise. Played with nuanced grace by Jolene Blalock, T'Pol's journey from distant alien observer to deeply entangled Starfleet officer was one of Enterprise's most compelling arcs. And now, in a surprise twist of fate nearly 2 decades later, Topple has returned, and her reappearance is nothing short of perfect. After 19 years away from live-action Star Trek, T'Pol's return marks more than just the nostalgic re-entry of a fan-favorite character. It also represents a long-overdue reckoning with the themes Enterprise tried to explore before its premature cancellation. In bringing her back, the franchise is honoring the roots of Starfleet, the difficult birth of the Federation, and the cost of progress. And for Topple herself, it's a triumphant and emotional full-circle moment. A quiet exit, a lingering legacy. Star Trek Enterprise concluded its 4-season run in 2005 with a controversial finale that left fans disappointed, not only with how the story ended, but how little closure it provided for characters like Topple. The episode, These Are the Voyages, centered more on the next generation's Riker and Troy than it did on the Enterprise crew themselves, and T'Pol's character was left in a state of unresolved grief following Trip Tucker's death. Her future was unwritten, her arc unfinished. That hurt doubly so for fans who had grown to love the Vulcan's steady evolution. Initially stationed aboard the NX-01 as a representative of the Vulcan High Command, Topple began as a symbol of resistance to Starfleet's bold idealism. But as the years passed, she forged powerful friendships with her human crewmates, developed a complicated love story with Commander Tucker, and made personal sacrifices to stay with the crew even when it meant turning her back on Vulcan tradition. Though Jolene Blalock retreated from the spotlight after the end of Enterprise, Topple remained a favorite topic in fan circles, comics, and novels. But live-action Star Trek stayed silent, until now. Strange New Worlds, familiar faces. T'Pol's long-awaited return comes in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, in an episode aptly titled In the Shadow of Tomorrow. The plot sees Captain Pike's crew responding to a mysterious anomaly near the Vulcan colony of P'Jem, the same spiritual site where T'Pol's allegiances were once tested in Enterprise's early seasons. What they find there is startling. A Vulcan elder serving as a guardian of the monastery's temporal archives, none other than Topple herself, now older but still commanding the screen with sharp eyes and a calm demeanor. The choice to reintroduce her here is no accident. P'Jem was the crucible of T'Pol's ideological struggle between logic and emotion, between Vulcan heritage and human connection. Her presence at P'Jem is poetic, even spiritual. A return steeped in meaning. What makes this comeback so perfect isn't just the nostalgia. It's the weight of T'Pol's experience, now etched into her every word and glance. As played once again by Jolene Blalock, Topple has aged, but not diminished. Her voice is still precise, her posture still regal, but her emotional restraint is now balanced by the wisdom of someone who's lived through war, loss, and radical transformation. We learn in this episode that after the dissolution of the NX-01, Topple refused several offers to rejoin the Vulcan High Command. Instead, she chose a life of quiet purpose, helping to maintain the fragile balance between science and spirituality on Vulcan. She's also quietly served as an advisor to early Federation temporal ethics councils, a nod to Enterprise's temporal Cold War arc. When she meets Spock in this episode, a moment fans have dreamed of, the exchange is electric. Two Vulcans, both shaped by humans, both torn between legacy and personal evolution. Their dialogue is spare, but meaningful. Topple recognizes in Spock the very conflict she once endured, and her advice to him is character-defining. Greater than, you are not the contradiction they think you are. You are the balance we all need. It's a line that lands like a thunderclap, especially considering Spock's own struggle to reconcile his human and Vulcan sides throughout Strange New Worlds. A gift to the fans. T'Pol's return isn't just for dramatic weight, it's a love letter to fans of Enterprise. For years, Enterprise was treated like the black sheep of the franchise. Its low ratings, polarizing tone, and abrupt cancellation left many feeling like its stories would be forgotten. But in recent years, especially with Strange New Worlds embracing the episodic format and optimistic tone of classic Trek, there's been a subtle rehabilitation of Enterprise's legacy. T'Pol's reappearance confirms that Enterprise mattered, that its characters had lasting impact. She speaks of Captain Archer with reverence, notes how Trip's death still lingers with her, and references the Andorian Shran, giving fans the sense that the Annex-01 crew lived on beyond the final frame. Even better, the episode doesn't relegate her to background exposition. T'Pol plays a key role in helping Pike's crew understand the anomaly, and in doing so, proves that her blend of Vulcan logic and human empathy is as invaluable as ever. She's not just a historical figure, she's a living example of what Starfleet has always stood for. Blalock's quiet triumph. Jolene Blalock's return to Star Trek is something many thought would never happen. She's long been vocal about her mixed feelings on how T'Pol was written, especially regarding the overt sexualization in the early seasons of Enterprise. But her portrayal always transcended the material. She gave T'Pol dignity and inner conflict, subtle growth and emotional gravity. Here, in Strange New Worlds, the writing finally honors her. T'Pol is presented with reverence, complexity, and grace. The camera doesn't ogle her, it listens to her. The story doesn't use her as a prop, it revolves around her wisdom. It's a redemption not just for the character, but for the actress as well. Blalock plays older T'Pol with such careful restraint that you forget nearly 2 decades have passed. Her final scene, meditating silently as the sun rises over P'Jem, is a visual echo of Enterprise's final shot. Only now, it feels like a beginning rather than an end. What comes next? While Paramount has yet to confirm if T'Pol will appear again, the response from fans has been overwhelming. Social media buzz with excitement, and longtime Enterprise fans express tears and gratitude. With Strange New Worlds increasingly tying together threads from across Trek history, there's every reason to believe this won't be the last time we see her. Some fans are already speculating that she could appear in the upcoming Section 31 film, given her ties to temporal oversight, or even serve as a mentor figure to younger Vulcan characters in the works. Whether she's seen again or not, her return has rewritten the legacy of Enterprise and solidified her role as a cornerstone of early Starfleet lore. Final thoughts. A perfect return. T'Pol's journey was never about being the typical Vulcan. She was always walking a line between two worlds, not fully trusted by either, but always committed to understanding both. Her return in Strange New Worlds is perfect not just because it checks a box for fans, but because it enriches the tapestry of Star Trek itself. She reminds us that growth is possible, even after trauma. That logic and emotion aren't enemies,